We are live. What is going on, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, here at launch day for Diablo 2 Resurrected? It is 11:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on 9/23/21. I successfully loaded the game client, and it seemed to go through okay. Right at 11, it wasn't working. I kept hitting play, 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 refreshing like a madman, opening and closing my Battle.net launcher, and now it's actually letting me into the game. I just saw the opening cinematic, and I am on the online tab, and I'm going to create a new character for you guys. If you're not familiar with the cast of bold, brave heroes on Diablo, well, oh well, you should be, because they are some amazing heroes. I'm going to start off simple with the Barbarian. Looks like right now ladder is unavailable. This was anticipated. They said it would be a feature coming in later dates. Looks like you can play hardcore if you want. And if you want to play without Lord of Destruction and you want to play vanilla Diablo 2, you can as well. But we're going to go ahead and stick with the Barbarian. I guess if you click him twice, he walks away. We're going to name this guy Truck. And there he is in all his glory. And I'm going to hit play, and we're going to see if it actually works. Here we go. Now, I got to imagine on a middle of a Thursday afternoon, most people are probably not in line, like trying to play like me. So I'm suspecting it went through okay. And sure enough, it did. As with all initial Diablo games, you always have the initial guy who's there to kind of guide you and shepherd you through. In this case, it's Wariv. I don't need the story explanation. I'm familiar with it, but I do want to go over here and grab the quest from Akira of the Den of Evil, which I guess you don't technically have to grab. I feel like if you actually just do the quest, it'll pop up for you. But here we go. We're going to run outside and we're going to go check out the world a little bit. This is surreal to be back. Beware foul demons and beasts indeed. I love playing this on the controller, and I did a pretty long video before my love letter to this game talking just about how much I loved playing Diablo on controller and how much it really changes the feel of this game from more of an RPG to a definite more of a action RPG, particularly because you have access to numerous skills basically all at once. We'll go ahead and grab the skill shrine, although I have no skills, so it really doesn't matter right now. And I believe that's the den right there. This looks like the Den of Evil right off the gate. Let's go check it out, boys and girls. There are many foes here. And you can see here the quest does say, kill all the monsters. This will get us our very, very first levels, and we'll get an introduction to some of the rewards and stuff. But as I was starting to say before I so excellently stumbled upon said Den of Evil, what I really like about this game, playing it on controller, is it really changes how you use your skills. So by default, the regular game, the way the skill system works is you only have two keys that you have to toggle through, which is your left and right mouse key, and then you have to use your function keys on your keyboard to change the rest of your skills, which is a total pain in the butt because later on you will have many, many skills at your disposal. Typically, though, you're not going to use them all. And the reason you're not going to use... Oh, that's some interesting lag. Hey, it's launch day, okay? The reason you're not going to use all your skills is because a lot of times you'll synergize up one skill into a better skill. So, for example, I'll just go ahead and pick on the wizard, who one of my favorite classes, I guess technically the sorceress, whatever, the magic person, right? That's not the necromancer. They will have the ability to cast a single bolt of lightning in a single direction. Okay? Not very exciting. Later on, they will get the ability to cast a bolt of lightning that chains off and hits multiple targets. Well, once you have that ability, there's really no reason to go back to the first ability. And as a result, most people will quit using it. So I feel like, in a way, the Diablo design team, originally when the game came out, said, well, you know, people are constantly going to be trading in skills for better skills. And by the end of the game, they're most likely going to be using only like high-end skills. They're not going to be doing that much switching. Therefore, our idea of having, you know, only one or two direct bindings with left and right mouse click with a couple function keys should be fine. I don't think what they realized was, one, the sheer amount of love for this game, and two, just some of the bizarre, goofy builds that ultimately came out. Especially when you get into the harder difficulty, like Nightmare or in Hell mode, where you have a lot of enemies that have immunity straight up to different things. So immunity really changes the way the game's played, because now, for example, as a barbarian, I can't, maybe there's an enemy that's immune to melee. Well, that really is going to hurt my chances of success, because I'm swinging a big old hammer or something at this point, trying to kill people, right? So so you have to have other abilities on Q. In this case, it would be concentrate. But the point is, you would have other abilities ready to go, and that is where I think the controller really shines. It's going to allow you to constantly change up. You could have your standard attack always mapped. Instead of, you know, using your standard attack once your special ability runs out due to mana. So I'll show you that here in just a second, what I'm talking about. But now I'll have the ability to do a standard attack on command anytime I want. I don't have to worry about waiting for, you know, mana to recharge, or I could be smarter about how I do things, and it saves me a ton of clicks. So let's go ahead and jump into the skill tree, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So under combat masteries, these are passive abilities. This is not a good example. Combat skills would be much better. Bash. I guarantee you I'm going to put a point into Bash. That's just kind of a no-brainer. I'm going to go ahead and bind Bash to X, okay? So you see when I start bashing, you see in the bottom right-hand corner how my mana is vanishing, that blue meter, and now it's completely gone. When I try to hit Bash, you see that the screen is redded out on the bottom, right? That means I don't have enough mana to perform Bash anymore. If I'm hitting the Bash key, all I'm doing is, by default, I'm auto-attacking, which is the same as my A, which is still lit up on my start bar on the bottom, or my bar on the bottom. So this is how the original Diablo played. You get your cool ability, you get to use it for a couple swings, and then once your mana runs out, unfortunately, you're back to your default ability. Now, for a barbarian, this means I think I have like, what, 10 mana when I start or something? I have such a low amount of mana. I mean, look at that. Yeah, 12 mana, right? I don't have a lot of mana, so I can't really do a lot of really cool abilities yet. But for most other classes, this means if you're parked and you're stuck, and you're like, I want to go over and hit Corpse Fire. I want to hit him with my Bash ability. But if I'm trying to get to him and I want to basically clear the way by killing some of these lesser zombies first, in the old game, I would have to hit the F key and cycle through regular attack to a Bash ability. In the new Diablo, especially playing with the controller here, I'm using my auto attack to hit the regular enemies, and then when I'm done with them, I'm going to turn around and I can start bashing on him. So now I'm hitting X, getting those big hits. You can see I've already dropped his HP to like less than half. So big difference on how the controller plays in, and I just wanted to give that example to just show how brilliant that design choice is, and why I think this makes the game infinitely more enjoyable on a controller than using a keyboard and mouse. And I know there's going to be their purists, and there are probably going to be unique situations, particularly with some of the later wizard spells, or sorcerer or whatever, where you're going to want to aim at a specific thing. If you are a necromancer, for example, you may want to use Corpse Explosion on a corpse way back in the background. You may not want to use it on the corpse directly in front of you. How many do I got left? Probably 2. 3 monsters left. I'm overburdened. We're going to fix that right now. If I can toggle, here we go. Let's go and put this in here, put this in here. Look, free inventory space. Now we'll dual hand for a while. And now we can pick up the axe. So when you're trying to use an ability where you're targeting at something, then yeah, absolutely, it's going to make a ton of sense that you're probably going to want to use a mouse and a keyboard. I think those instances, though, are very rare. This game doesn't have a whole lot of strategy to it. It is very much so get in there and just bang with everything. I don't really see a reason why you would need to have that. But the nice thing is you can see I'm using my controller right now. And then just by touching my keyboard and my mouse, now I am back on keyboard. And here you can see what I was talking about. I have to assign bash to like an F key. And then I would have to hit F1 and I'd hit F2, or I'd have to hit my right mouse click to activate bash. And then if I didn't want to use bash, I'd have to have another ability signed to like, I don't know, like F2 or something, right? And then you're cycling through, you're using your keyboard to cycle through spells, which just seems very cumbersome. As opposed to on the controller, there you could see all my face buttons at the bottom, very clearly marked. And very simply by hitting the left trigger, I have a whole separate set of abilities. So I got 6 abilities there. I hold down left trigger. I have 6 more abilities to select from. So I mean, I have 12 instant cast abilities with just seconds of a button press. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me why you would ever want to not have that enabled, honestly. But whatever. So we're going to go ahead and run it back. And we're going to go turn in this quest. And I'm going to take a little break here. But I just wanted to show off the opening and say, yes, Diablo 2 is live. I am playing it. It does work. It's real. It looks as gorgeous, if not more gorgeous than I remembered. It's so much fun to play, and thanks to Akira, I now have another stat ability there. I completed the quest. Not a whole lot of quests here, by the way, guys. But I completed the quest. I have some stat points that I can select. I could go into my skill tree and begin assigning different abilities there and building up my Barbarian to be the ultimate war machine. I don't know what build I want to do. I'm thinking maybe a dual wield with swords. That'd be kind of fun. Maybe go a little bit of double swing down into frenzy. Of course, most barbarians would always say that whirlwind is the ultimate ability. It is quite fun. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, the double, you could do both, obviously. I don't know. So much fun here. Can't wait to dive more into it. Please expect significantly more videos from me in the future. But for now, I must adjourn. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you found this informative. More to follow. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.